But one lot of pearls were taken off one girl, put them on the next, one lot of earrings. Rosa's knitting the dog's blanket with a ball string. The only preparation we had was I ran round 2 hours before and said, loosen your bra straps because you'll have marks. And that was it. When we went back to Terry's and looked at the photographs, we realised it made us look good. All I can say to you is if you want to do a calendar, by all means do a cancer calendar. You've got lots of chains here to cover things. If you're over 17, that's 1/7, you can't be in colour because it's unforgiving. Sepia and black and white are a lot better because there's more shadows. But by all means, we love that people have done calendars. People seem to think we would be upset because they've copied, but people have made money for all kinds of charities, and it's very amusing when you do it. You'll have a nice time. As you've heard, we launched in April 1999. My name and number went out with the press releases because I had a business at that time, not a flower business, as in the film, a medical educational software business. So I had phone and fax and email. The moment the press releases went out, I was on 3 phones forever. It never stopped. We were on what the papers say the night before. We woke up to be in the Guardian, the Daily Mail, the Yorkshire Post, and that continued in the national newspapers for 3 weeks. The next day I did a Radio Chicago interview, New Zealand, South Africa. Rosa's son, Miss November, our reluctant one, was having a year off in Sydney, Australia. He went into the main evening news, there's his mother. Naked on a calendar. With all our friends in his local pub. So it went global almost straight away. We continued our own promotion by sending out calendars to famous people so they would talk about us and maybe send a cheque, like Victoria Ward, Julie Walters, Michael Parkinson. Alan Bennett sent us a cheque in a postcard depicting sexual harassment, with a lady chasing a man with a broom. And he said he loved the calendar, but we weren't to be seduced by show business, that Victoria sponges and pickles were much more worthwhile. Graham Norton, we sent him a calendar, he had it on his programme, he talked about us a lot. One of his first comments was, when the WI ladies had the photographs taken, they didn't want to show any nipples, so they didn't take any shots below the waist. We took it all in good part then, because 10 years ago it didn't apply to any of us, but it's getting closer all the time. At the end of that first year, we'd sold 88,000 calendars and we'd made £331,000 for leukaemia research. We thought that was it. Then on January the 23rd, 2000, the New York Times put our story on the front page and America found us big time. We had the odd letter to Miss July, England, or WI Yorkshire from America, and we'd send calendars, but nothing in a bit. This was huge. A website that wasn't even ours got 200 hits a minute and 60,000 emails in the first week asking for the calendar. A lady rang me up. She was the producer of the 2020 show in New York. You might remember Barbara Walters. She's about 80, but this producer says she has 6 plastic surgeons working on her at all times. So she came over and she did a documentary on us, and she said that we shouldn't stop selling the calendar, that we could sell it in America, and that she would find us a publisher. She found us a publisher in New York who launched a 19-month version, same photographs, and we went on US tour. When we came back, the Sunday Times said we'd had a tour that Madonna would have died for. We sold another 340,000 calendars. The comment in the Texas Star was that the sun would never have set on the British Empire if it had the gumption of these women. And the film, of course, without the film, I don't think we would continue this long. It was a very hard decision for Angela and her family to have a film made about John's illness and his death. And she didn't think she wanted it at first, but she met up with the producers and the script writers and realised that if it was done properly, she had rights on the script for it to be all British, shot in the Dales, backed by Disney money, but all British actors, actresses, producers and directors. And she had those rights on the script. But more importantly than having this dedication to John, to make more money for leukaemia research for him, because that's why we've done it. And we've made a lot of money for leukaemia research from the film and continue to make money from it. Because the 6 girls who are involved with the film, our photographer, Angela's children, we've all signed our rights directly to leukaemia research. We were very excited about the film. When they started to talk about the actors and actresses, we couldn't believe we were going to get Julie Walters, Helen Mirren, Annette Crosbie, Geraldine James, Celia Imrie. You never think you're going to say the sentence in your life that you've been portrayed in a film by Helen Mirren. Cut her teeth on me and went on to play the Queen. And of course you'll have realised we're just like twins. She's only 7 inches smaller and 3 stone lighter than me. Apart from that, we're very alike. The director told us the actresses wouldn't want to meet us, that they'd want to play our part from the script, and we didn't imagine we would meet them. But Julie, as we now know her, rang up and said she'd like to come to lunch and meet us, and once Angela got over her panic and got a couple of quiches and a bit of salad from Marks and Spencer's, they all came in a big limo with their voice coach and the wardrobe director and the producers and the makeup director. And she's just how you imagine she is. She's a lovely person, very normal. Her life's been touched by leukemia because her daughter's a survivor, so she very much felt it. And after that we met them all. Helen Mirren was the last one to come, and all the men managed to get the day off work when she came. Sat at her end of the table, we couldn't get anywhere near her. She came with sunflowers for Angela, shed a few tears when she listened to the story of what had happened, and when they finished filming she sent me a cheque for £5,000 for leukemia research. They were all lovely. John Alderton, who played John, was lovely. We were on set nearly every day. We imagined you'd have to get a pass to be allowed on, but they treated us royally, and we were on set. And we do have our cameo role. If you watch the film again, with the Victoria Sponge, I've never put a bought cake into a competition, because the WI judge would know 20 yards that it was bought. I have put the odd craft in made by other people when I've been short of time. We've got them good marks as well. So we've got our little cameo role. We look terrible because we're in awful clothes. The wardrobe director took us to Harrogate to get our outfits. We thought we were going to go somewhere really nice, but she took us to Help the Aged and Oxfam, which is obviously what they think WI ladies wear. So we look awful, but we did have a fantastic time. It was a very exciting time, and they were in the Dales for 6 weeks. And when they left, we were bereft. It was like the circus had left town, because we'd had every meal with them, which is fantastic, and got paid when we were being extras. So they invited us down to Shepperton to watch them film in the studio. And we were very excited. We always have the cheapest tickets, but we thought we should have breakfast in first class on the train because it was such a special day. So Angela asked the guard, and he said he'd see what he could do in Leeds. And then over the tannoy in Leeds, would Miss January, February, September, October, November come along to the buffet car? Breakfast is served. So we walked through the train, and the steward had a bottle of wine and said, the chef's so excited that you're on his train, he'd like to serve you breakfast himself. So that's fine. Out he came with a big silver salver, and he was only wearing a penny in his socks. It was very funny, but it wasn't a pretty sight. And I bet his wife wished she'd put him in better socks. Now there is a stage show. It's toured, and it has been in the West End for the last few months at the Noel Coward Theatre. We've made 150,000 so far since it was in London, because we get the box office money, the booking fee, and we're also selling our produce in the foyer, because we've got jam, Christmas cards. We've got jam, lemon curd and marmalade. It's all very good. Christmas cards, chocolates. We're on chocolates. Unfortunately not embossed on the chocolate.